to the E to the L to the U to the X to the E to the top. Smacking.
Now, don't get me wrong, I was really looking forward to this. When I saw like early concepts, I guess, of like a Maglev route coming to Train Sim, I was like, yes, I could see this. It would be really nice. It'd be something different. It'd be something funky. And then the Shanghai Maglev came out, and when I saw it was essentially just 2 stations. Yeah, my kind of opinion of it just kind of slumped essentially. But you guys really wanted me to have a go on this, so I got a code sent from me from the SHOUTOUT, so I thought, I'll have a go, see what it's like or whatever, and give you my kind of opinion on it, because you guys have just been bugging me like relentlessly, like, please play the Maglev Train, please play the Maglev Train, please play it, just have a go at it or whatever. So okay, I'll do it, it's fine. Qwerty Afro here, bringing you another Train Simulator 2016 video. As I said, I'm doing quite a lot of Train Simulator lately because of the amount of releases that have just been coming out of nowhere, like with the Western Main lines, the Qwerty lines by Armstrong Powerhouse, obviously the Shanghai Maglev, and then also there's the Class 7-3, which I still need to do one at some video of at some point, as well as the Western Main lines. But today we're looking at the Shanghai Maglev, and we're just going to get into the video basically. Also, just before we even get in, the shoutouts go to Deltic SP and TheSwankyGrape. That's again Deltic SP and TheSwankyGrape. And their links and stuff will be down below. Please show them some love. Those are the shoutouts. So I was just pondering over these scenarios. I don't even know how they managed to do 6. 6 seems like a struggle for scenario ideas really for this route, because obviously there's only 2 stations. Most of them are pretty basic, just like, yeah, return trip, and then like, there's a fun one with the advantages of automatic train operation, but basically it just says you shouldn't do anything in this scenario, just press play and then go. And then there's just other ones like parallel operation, and the last day of service where you're doing it in the night, and then there's like the heavy rain one, but there's like a tornado, typhoon kind of thing in Shanghai, because yeah, that's where they happen. And I thought I'll do this one, a foggy morning, where it's this morning you have to face a new challenge. Visibility is poor and the ATO is out. Can you handle this? I thought, I'd give myself a challenge and do the scenario where I don't use ATO, because what's the point? If I used ATO, then I'll just sit here and press a button and just kind of do nothing really for the whole video. So I thought, you know what, let's do the most challenging one and see how that fares, because then at least I can say I'm driving this 300 and whatever mile per hour train, well, Maglev train technically, or whatever. But anyway, I'll see you guys in this Maglev train in just a sec. And we are finally here. In this scenario, you are required to drive the train from Pudong Airport to Longyang Road Station, then go back to Pudong Airport. The maximum recommended speed for this scenario is 300 kilometers per hour. You will need to switch the cabs at Pudong Airport Station and drive back to Longyang Road using the same track. So when we'd be changing any tracks, I think the most coolest thing about this route, in terms of like detail or anything, is probably the cool swapping track. If I can get to here, I think it's this that, like, what I've been seeing. If I can I? Junction after. Oh, but I can't change it because it's a career scenario. But apparently, if this moves, it's just a bit of concrete that just moves sides or whatever. It's nothing that special, but apparently that's the most interesting thing about this route. But anyway, we're here at Longyang, which is the kind of city in Shanghai or whatever, where people would get on this Maglev to hop onto the airport or whatever, which is pretty cool. It's not a detailed station. Like, I would think at least they'll try and make the stations a bit more detailed. It's a bit basic, but I guess, yep, it's futuristic or whatever. Let's, I guess, open the doors. And did I hear any sounds for the doors, Like, this route costs 20 quid. Just to put that out there straight away. Oh, and the doors don't even open on both sides. That would have been nice if they did open on both sides, because obviously there's 2 platforms on either side. But this route costs 20 quid, and well, You be the judge of yourself. I don't really have any words for this. You know my opinion on this. I don't even have to give an opinion on this. You guys can work it out. All of the reviews should tell you what this route basically is all about, essentially, and what people's opinions are of it. We're in the dash now. Obviously, this train is all automatic, but today we are not being automatic because the ATO is broken, and I'm guessing in real life if the ATO was broken, then they wouldn't. Oh, did I turn it off? Oh, that will go away. I guess if the ATO was broken in real life, they wouldn't run the service because the service can only be run in ATO or whatever. Headlight switch, just turn on the headlights. Cab lights, no thank you. Desk lights, no thank you, nothing really to read. Oh, can I put the ATO on? I don't think I can. I put it on, but I don't think it'll do anything because I think it's been turned off for this actual scenario. But anyway, we've got the passengers, so I guess we'll go. So we're in neutral right now. If I press no, ATO is off. I thought I could just cheat and put on ATO, but I can't. Right, let's. Ooh, whoa. Right. Neutral, because I'm controlling the speed in this. I'm ATO. Qwerty Afro is the ATO manager of this. There's no real sound as well, because obviously it's a maglev train, and I guess maglev trains don't really make much of a sound because they're just essentially magnets, and they just kind of make a swooshing sound, I suppose. We have 5 cars, I do believe. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, 6. We have 6. I do apologise. And we are moving along. We're just kind of gliding, because this is essentially a gliding train. No wheels here. And that's all we're doing right now. It's all very smooth and chillaxed. One thing, though, that's probably the best thing about this this route is the amount of passenger view kind of cameras we get. It's not a lot, but it's something, and this is the kind of level I expect of any kind of route really to get with passenger view. I expect like quite a few, if you know what I mean. Like this, like a nice centre one. It's a bit like the Class 378 with the London Overground Class 378, where you get that many kind of different views. So this is definitely something I would. I know those 2D trees. The 2D trees are back. I guess they've kind of made this route kind of to, you know, be FPS kind of like light, so you can get the whoa, driver quality. Are you serious? Driver quality? I'm not even putting on that much. Only on P2. That's nothing. Oh well, driver quality apparently is bad. But yeah, I think they've gone for less detail and more FPS, which okay. But okay, if it's in less detail, then why did it have to be this expensive, if you know what I mean? There's no other camera in this actual. No. There's actually no other camera in this actual cab view, which is a bit annoying. I want to actually go back and see what's like how the passengers can look at the actual driver, a bit like the ice-free trains. You can kind of look at the driver a bit from the passenger view, which is pretty cool. I would have liked to see, because I've seen a real picture in real life of actually this maglev and of people like taking a picture of it, like from the passenger view to the driver. It's quite big. It's quite a big area for the driver actually. Even though the driver technically doesn't do anything, but I'm doing something in this scenario because I'm driving it and I'm having to maintain the speed, the brakes and whatever, because ATO is broken. Right. Ooh. Does that mean I can go to 200 now? Yep, I can go to 200. Let's increase the speed. It's a bit annoying coming from my previous video where I was doing the Qwerty lines, where we had nice kind of 3D trees and everything, and like in this one now it's just all the kind of same bland 2D-ness. But again, this is to save and you know, up the FPS as it were. Yeah, a flask is hello. A flask is definitely something I would recommend in this, because you're just going to need coffee to stay awake from the boredom. Like, imagine being like one of these maglev drivers. You're not really doing much. You're just sitting here, just and especially on this route, there's only 2 stops. It's just from, you know, Lei Yang, whatever, to Pudong, and that's it. Like, you would think that this could be automated. Like, if you think about, like, if you go to, like, I don't know, Gatwick or whatever, where you have the automated monorail, and that automates itself, so that's all automatic. There's no driver involved in that. Oh, sure, it doesn't go as fast as this, but you'd kind of think same kind of principle, doesn't really need a driver, and that's where I'm kind of at with this. Doesn't really look that fast, and obviously because I'm on the there's no ATO, it's recommending me that I only do 300 miles per hour, as if like it should tell you that the recommended is 300 kilometers. I'm saying miles per hour because I'm just so used to that, but they're saying that I should do kilometers per hour, but I say maybe that should have just been a recommended speed limit, and then I could just go up to anything I want to, and then it would just be my kind of 450. So it is a recommended speed that they're telling me to do. Well, let's increase to P4 and let's see how far we can go. Very nice. And obviously Maglevs are super smooth. Like, the resistance is ridiculous, obviously because there's magnets and there's really little resistance, so this is a pretty smooth experience. There wouldn't be any kind of clanking or any of that kind of bullshit you'd get with rail, so you'd be very comfortable in this. But then again, I'm upset with this route. I don't want to rant too much because you guys, I can tell you right now, I do not like this route, and I think it's just such bad value. £20 for 2 stops. Think about that. That's £10 for each stop. That kind of works about kind of the same kind of price in real life that you would, you know, travel in terms of fares and prices, but you're paying that for an actual in-game experience, which is kind of a bit like, that's weird. You're paying to kind of play yourself in a virtual world, the kind of same thing that you can pay around the same price in. Whoa, why did that jolt up all of a sudden? That's a bit weird. I don't know. Don't do a Virgin Pendolino on me like in that video where it jolted and then like suddenly all my carriages just dissipate and disconnect. Oh. What? Why is it jolting like that? Why is it? Oh, is it because ATO was on? Oh, that's... Wait, what? I don't get this. It's weird that like, we're going so fast and just meeting... Ooh, hello. Nice that we do... Well, that I saw that 200 mile per hour speed limit thing, because we've just about nicely slowed down there, which is good. I don't know if this ATO is kind of on, I suppose. I don't know, it's a bit buggy. And this is a pretty dull kind of weather. And you can see some aeroplanes there. Obviously because we're going to an airport, so it would be kind of odd if we didn't see any aeroplanes. Well, all these beeps. ATO is off. Leave me alone, I'm the human, I'm in control here. But again, as I said, the value of this route is just so poor. There's no way anyone could justify this price to me for this route. There's just no way. You're not doing anything in this route. The train can drive itself. The train has no wipers and horns, which is fair enough because in real life it doesn't have it either way, but still it means that like most of the scenarios where you're like having rain or whatever, you can't see outside, so you're gonna have to rely on just going into external camera and whatever, and to me that's not really a train sim experience. So I would question the person that actually allowed this to kind of go through as an actual official DLC, because I'm pretty shocked that it actually managed to go through as an actual official DLC, because it's pretty weird to me that, you know, this is now what's considered, you know, DLC for train sim. Like, it just puzzles me for some reason. Just really does puzzle me. And I hope something like this does not come out again, because this is just such bad value. 2 stations for 20 quid. Just Just puzzle that in your mind. 20 quid for 2 stations for like about a 10-ish, 15-mile-ish route with 2 stops. You're pretty much finished within like what we've just been going for, like about 10 minutes or something like that. It is little. It is like some might argue, yeah, this is amazing. It's maglev. It's the first thing, you know, in train sim. It's unique or whatever. But like, you know, there's many maglev routes in the world that have more than 2 stops. This is not the only maglev in the world. I know this is probably maybe the maglev with the fastest, you know, service in the world, but there's other maglevs that, you know, have more stops, and I would have rather had that in it. Like, I like the maglev system. I love the maglev technology. It's amazing. Like, it's magnets. It's no resistance. It's unlimited speeds in some sense. But here they've kind of just picked a really easy one to kind of just go like, yep, let's do from A to B. And this is really like a good case of like A to B at its finest. I don't think you can go any more A to B than this. Right, let's go to neutral. And now we are coming into Pudong, which looks bland as beige paint, pretty much, because it is painted all in just beige paint. No sound at all, because, you know, well, it probably wouldn't make it. Yeah, to be honest, I think in real life it would make a bit more sound. Like right now in this kind of game setting, it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything. It just feels like the air conditioning units are making the most sound, which they probably are, but what can you say? Right, we can basically slow down to any point really now. And there we go. Oh, a nice little light up saying, yep, doors are open. Thank you for letting me know. Welcome to Pudong Airport. Please take all your belongings with you when departing the Maglev train. I hope you've had a comfortable experience. I wonder even who manufactures these trains, to be honest. Right, I do believe we have to switch cabs, don't we? And even though ATO is on, which is not, I'm just going to turn it off because obviously it's disabled for the scenario. Right. Let's go outside. Let's watch it depart. Why not? Have some dynamic action in this scenario. Oh yeah, it doesn't have a horn. I just remembered. And doesn't this have like any? Well, I'm guessing they didn't get the license right, so it doesn't have any kind of logo or anything on it. Oh, hello. There we go. It does accelerate quite fast. That's one thing you have to get used to. Oh, forgot the lights there. Well, that's essentially the whole route, guys. Thank you for watching the video. Oh no, we have to drive all the way back, so... But I just like honestly, I can't think of anything really good to say about this map, this route, this train, anything. Like, the concept was there for such a good potential kind of route if it was longer, but I think this is just kind of lazy. I really think this is lazy. Like, 20 quid for 2 stops. 20 quid for 2 stops. Honestly, just think about that. Like, to be honest, I don't even think this is Dovetail Games' fault, because obviously they didn't make it. This is Union Workshop, but Dovetail did publish it through Steam or whatever, so it is kind of their fault in a way of deciding to actually put this route to go ahead. So I'm sorry, like, people at Dovetail should be looking at this and thinking as well that this is a bit of a rip-off. Like, come on. Like, if I literally told someone who didn't see this route or any kind of advertisement about it, and if I said, would you pay 20 quid for 2 stops, you would automatically say no. And even though this is like a very special, unique route because it's the Maglev, doesn't mean it's worth the price tag. Oh, that's quite nice. Oh, but the plane disappeared. I thought that was actually going to look pretty cool. I was going to say that that's actually pretty much a nice kind of thing in the map, but no, the plane disappeared, so we can't even see a nice, arriving plane. Oh, hello, there's another plane. The same model, not even variation of the models, to be honest. Oh, and it disappeared again. Must be some super extreme thick fog. And I do believe this track here that leads off from here is the maintenance depot for these Maglev trains around here. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to our boring desk job. This essentially is a desk job, to be honest. Like when it rains, it's like the ultimate desk job. A desk job is because it's basically blinding you from the outside world, and you have no horn to like tell people that you're trapped inside here. But it's like a cave essentially. Oh my god! Look at what. Look, excuse me, wait, can we just look at these roads? Those roads do not look like, they don't look naturally, that doesn't look good. That gradient just does not look natural. That just looks like it was just placed on just unnaturally. That gradient just, well, I don't know. But guys, what do you think about this route? Are you gonna pick it up? Are you gonna buy it? Tell me your thoughts. Is there anything actually good to say about this route except for the concept? Like, the only thing I have positive to say about this route is the actual concept of this route. That's all I can really think about. Because, like, detail is poor, let's be honest. Like, that's just, like, blatantly honest. The detail's not there, but again, they've kind of done that for high FPS, which, okay. The train, the only thing good about it I see is the passenger view, which is kind of a nice place to be in, but that's it. That's it. ATO just drives it for you, so you don't really have to do anything, so you're paying essentially to have a route that you don't do anything in. Immersion right there. But I don't know, I can't really think of anything. Like, the only thing I can think, again, as I say, is the cool thing about this route is the concept. That's all I can think about in this route, is the concept is good. The concept of Maglev, like, it sounds like such a cool, brilliant idea, and it's something like I've always even wanted to see in Train Sim, but I just think the execution is really poor, and the actual idea of just doing like this kind of Pudong airport to Loyang Road is really lazy and sloppy, and they could have easily picked a much better Maglev system in the world to actually do, with multiple stops, with like a better train, with a better Maglev train, to be honest. Because I think the only selling point that they kind of went on was like, yes, this is the fastest passenger service in the world. Okay, that's cool, but it doesn't have to be the most, exciting passenger service in the world, which it isn't. And I think that's what it lets it down. And I have nothing really much else to say about it. Just, what do you guys think? Tell me down below. Oh my god, drive quality, of course. Like anyone's feeling this. We're going so fast, no one would even feel this. Man, this is such a gloomy day. Look at this. Looks like the sky's gonna collapse on us. And China's pretty boring, to be honest. It's just industrial states after industrial states after industrial states after a little bit of high-rise flats, and that's essentially what it is. Oh look, some immersion. The AI. Yay, and you're not even going that fast, to be honest. And that's it. Can't even use a horn to kind of like, you know, horn each other. Sad times. And to be honest, even without ATO, I feel like I'm not doing really much because the train accelerates so fast it doesn't feel like I have to control it at all, and then the braking's the only thing really I'm doing, and then I'm opening the doors. That's essentially it. A bit like a tube driver, to be honest. It would have been cool if they put in like a mini game here with like this pen and this notebook, so we could have actually just, you know, drawn in the notebook. That would have been a cool little addition, because that would have actually given us something to do, if you know what I mean. Because, you know, it's there. Like, why can't I use the pen and the notebook? Because there's nothing really else I can do. The only thing I can do is press the emergency brake if I want for fun, but then we're going to lose points. Anyway, I'm not even on the highest amount of points, so... yeah. Alright, I'm going to start slowing down for 120 kilometers per hour. ATO is on. Like, what? It's kind of like... I think ATO is bugged. I think they scripted it for it to be off, but it kind of turns on when it wants to, or something like that. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna translate that into Mandarin or anything, but ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching our final stop. Welcome to Shanghai Maglev Route. We hope you had a wonderful, comfortable trip for our 2-stop journey. We travelled up to 450 kilometers per hour, the fastest anywhere in the world for train passenger service. We hope you come again, because the train driver is not bored at all from his job, even though the train could drive itself, and it doesn't even need a driver. But again, thank you for boarding this train. We hope you've enjoyed it. Enjoy your stay in Shanghai. That's essentially it. I think that's the funnest I had actually throughout this whole scenario, doing a little bit of a PA announcement. Yep, automatic train operations on, because I'm not doing anything here. I've actually put it into a... I put it, yeah, train operation was, automatic train operation was fiddling with my speed there, because I put it into P1 and it didn't even overwrite that, so ATO is still functional in this scenario, even though it's apparently, disabled. Right, I'm gonna do a passenger view entry, I think, because one is, right, turn around here. Let's do that, because this is the most immersion I'm getting in this scenario, being in this passenger view, really. But no passengers, of course. Please remember to keep all your personal belongings with you when leaving the train. Exit station for Shanghai Metro and Shanghai taxi services. Remember, you can buy a return trip ticket back to Pudong Airport at a cheap price of something, whatever the currency is for China. We are now entering Maglev Road. There we go. Welcome to Shanghai, where doors will only open on the left, not on the right, even though we have a double platform. That's just too much. But this looks nice. Look at this. This looks a bit like mini metro almost. But this kind of looks like the airport station, to be honest. Look at this. It looks like something like Hong Kong International or something like that. Anyway, let's have a look here about the buffers. Oh my god, if we actually continue forward, we technically can run aground, can't we? Let's... Oh no, I can't do it, can I? Oh no, I can't. That might be like just for a little bit of an April's Fool video or whatever, just to run aground with the Maglev and go into Shanghai, basically, essentially, or whatever. But anyway, guys, I hope you've sort of enjoyed that, or tried to enjoy that. That was the Shanghai Maglev, which you guys have been heavily requesting me to have a go on, and I finally did. I don't think I ever want to have a go on it again. I don't know what else you can do with this route in like terms of scenario potential. I guess people can make their own routes, their own kind of Maglev routes was the only kind of good thing I could see on it. If all the assets are now in, if you buy this route, which is the kind of bad thing, if you're an asset builder and you want to actually build a Maglev route now, you have to actually buy this route, which is just not fair. I think these assets should just be in the game, and people should just use it and make their own kind of creative kind of worlds and stuff with Maglev routes, because now the kind of Maglev track and stuff is available, and we have a Maglev train. It'd be really cool to integrate some Maglev kind of routes with train routes and just, you know, mix it up a bit. Like, it'd be really cool to see some kind of Maglev inspired kind of custom routes and stuff like that, or custom maps. That's the only kind of positive thing I can get out of this. Other than that, it's a really bland route. And that's all I'm going to go there, because I could really just slate this route off, because I just think it's pointless. It's so overvalued. 20 quid for 2 stations. Just, that's all I'm going to leave with you. You work out the value there. 10 quid per station. Just not at all worth it at all. And I think anyone with common sense would work out that this is just not worth it. And this is probably one of the most stupidest, overvalued routes that's ever been added to Train Sim, and that's really saying something, because, you know, most things are overpriced, but we can kind of handle it because most things come with at least a good amount of content. This is just a joke in some sense. They could easily release this on April Fools, to be honest. Release it with 20 quid, make some money, and then release it the next day as £1 because that's all I would pay for it if I had to price it. But then again, people at Union Workshop had to make this, and I don't think this is a difficult... I probably could have made this myself easily. If you just gave me the assets, I would have just plopped down some buildings and laid the track, and that's it. I think the only hardest thing is just scripting the train. That's, to be honest, the only kind of thing I can see that was maybe difficult and challenging with building this route. But then again, it's your opinion. Tell me your comments and thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? I know what I think I kind of can guess what I'm going to see in the comments down below, but it's your guys' opinion. That's just mine. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. That's my take on the Shanghai Maglev. The shouts again for this video go to Deltic SP and TheSwankyGrape. That's again Deltic SP and TheSwankyGrape. Their links and stuff will be down below. I will see you guys in another more productive video. Have a lovely day. Bye now.
We ain't never giving up, cause we ain't born for that. Gotta catch us fast, you do. Fast, you do. The ship is cruising, it's